وكفى وسلام على عباده الذين اصطفى أما بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم كما أرسلنا فيكم رسولا منكم يتلو عليكم آياتنا ويزكيكم ويعلمكم الكتاب والحكمة ويعلمكم ما لم تكونوا تعلمون فاذكروني أذكركم واشكروا لي ولا تكفرون يا أيها الذين آمنوا استعينوا بالصبر والصلاة إن الله مع الصابرين صدق الله العظيم وبلغنا رسوله النبي الكريم ونحن على ذلك من الشاهدين والشاكرين والحمد لله رب العالمين. Surah Al-Baqarah, Ayah 151. Kama arsalna fikum rasulam minkum. As ya like, we sent in your midst a messenger, rasulam minkum, among you, from among you. Yatlu alaykum ayatina, who recites to you our ayat or our verses. Wa yuzakkikum, and purifies you. Wa yuallimukumul kitaba wal hikmah, and teaches you the book and the wisdom. وَيُعَلِّمُكُمْ مَا لَمْ تَكُونُوا تَعْلَمُونَ, and teaches you what you did not know. فَاذْكُرُونِي أَذْكُرْكُمْ, so remember me, I will remember you. وَاشْكُرُوا لِي وَلَا تَكْفُرُونَ, and be thankful to me and not be ungrateful to me. So these ayat, last week we had completed the discussion about Qibla. And here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is starting with Kama arsalna fikum rasula. So just like we may recall that a set of verses back, we talked about the dua, the prayer of Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam, where he had requested Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept his construction of the Kaaba. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that we accepted that dua, completed that dua, and made this Kaaba that was constructed by Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam the Qibla of the Muslims to come, the Muslim Ummah, the last Nabi, everyone to come thereafter. Similarly, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accepted the other dua that he had made, and that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had mentioned when we were reading that he had made a dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to send among his progeny a messenger. He and asked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that messenger would recite upon the people the verses of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the ayat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and do their tazkiyah, purify them, and teach them kitab and hikmah, teach them the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and hikmah, the wisdom. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is here saying, as we accepted that prayer, we accepted this prayer as well. Kama arsalna fikum rasulam minkum, we sent a prophet among you, from among you, a prophet upon you, from among you. Yatlu alaykum ayati, he exactly does those three things that Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam had asked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the prophet to do upon them, that he recites the verses of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He does purification of the people that he is sent into, the people around the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam purified them internally and externally. وَيُعَلِّمُكُمُ الْكِتَابَ وَالْحِكْمَةَ, and he teaches you the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and hikmah, wisdom, which alludes to the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ and all wisdom. وَيُعَلِّمُكُمْ مَا لَمْ تَكُونُوا تَعْلَمُونَ, and he teaches you that which you did not know. And from this, the Mufassirin have written that the Prophet ﷺ brought things that were not in the previous Sharia, the previous books, the previous Sharia that had been given to the previous prophets. The Prophet ﷺ brought something more to it. So the Prophet ﷺ brought to people something, taught them, gave them knowledge of things that they did not know. The other meaning is that the Prophet ﷺ gave humanity those things that humanity could have never found out on their own. They could have never judged those things, they could have never calculated those things. The Prophet ﷺ brought the knowledge of those things. Even with our aql, with our wisdom, with our brains, with our minds, we could not have found those things, the knowledge of which the Prophet ﷺ brought to us. فَاذْكُرُونِي, so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, so remember me, since Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one doing multiple blessings, multiple bounties upon the people. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, Fadhkuruni, remember me, Adhkurkum, I will remember you. Washkuruli wala takfurun, be thankful to me for the blessings that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving to us. Wala takfurun, do not be among the unthankful. Zikr is a major ibadah, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us one virtue of remembering Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the major virtue of remembering Him right here in the Quran, that when we remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala remembers us. One Sahabi, Abu Usman radiallahu anh, said to people that I know, I can tell when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is remembering me and when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is remembering us. So the people were surprised and said, how can you tell? He said, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Quran, Fadhkuruni adhkurkum, when you remember me, I remember you. So what is our remembrance and what is the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Dhikr in its truest form is the zikr of heart, the zikr of the qalb. We remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with our heart. Our heart, our thoughts are fully immersed in the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That is true and the highest form of zikr. But zikr can be made with other organs of the body. For example, zikr can be made with our tongue, and that has its virtues. When we remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala through any of our organs of the body, zikr can also be made through other organs of our body. For example, we make ibadah to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, remembering Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala through any organs of our body. For example, when we stand in prayer, all of our body organs are standing in prayer. So we are making ibadah, we are remembering Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala through all our body parts. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala remembers us. Now what is the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? You remember, the explanation of this ayat is that you remember me with ita'at, with obedience. I will remember you with support, with help. So when we remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala through worship, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala remembers us through His support, His nusrat. Ya ayyuhal ladina amanu. Now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is addressing the people who believe. Ista'inu, take help, seek help. Bis sabr was salah, through two things, through sabr and through salah, through patience and prayer. Inna Allaha ma'as sabirin. Definitely, verily, surely, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is with those who have sabr, who are patient. This brings us to the other very important concept for today, which is of sabr. Generally, we think sabr is patience, and here also the Shaykh has translated as patience, but in the context of the Quran and Hadith in Islam, sabr has a very special meaning. Sabr means to control yourself, to hold yourself back, to restrain yourself. Sabr essentially constitutes of three equally important constituents. One constituent is very apparent and understood by everyone, and that is to be patient when some calamity hits us. And that may be calamity in our personal lives, in our social lives, whatever. It does not have to be an earthquake or a hurricane, but any calamity hits us, at whatever scale, we are patient. We bear it, thinking that this is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, this is the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we patiently bear it. That is one constituent out of three of sabr. The two very important constituents of sabr, number one is to restrain ourselves from all disobedience of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Sabr is not complete without its all three constituents. The two other most important constituents, number one, restraining ourselves from disobeying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in all forms, whatever form that may be, that is sabr. That is essential part of sabr. And number two, following the order of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So not doing what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has forbidden and doing what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has asked us to do, commanded us to do, that is also an equally important constituent of sabr. When we have sabr in all these three forms, and as we can imagine, sabr then also includes salah. That obeying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has asked us to do whatever what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has asked us to do, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has also asked us to pray. So sabr also includes salah, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is mentioning them separately. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu ista'inu bis sabri was salah. The ulama have explained a very fine point here, that sabr is all inclusive, but the highest form of sabr, the all inclusive form of sabr is salah. Why? When we are praying before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we are, through our bodies, through our minds, through our whole being, safeguarding ourselves from all disobedience of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We are not even looking here and there. Similarly, we are totally doing with all our body parts, with our mind, with ourself, all of ourself, with all of our being, we are doing what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has asked us to do. The all-inclusive form of sabr is salah. Inna Allah ma'as sabirin. Definitely Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is with the sabirin. And the Mufassirin have explained that this means that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has only mentioned sabr here with his ma'iyat, with his companionship, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is with the people. Definitely when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is with someone, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala takes care of all their needs, safeguards them from all worries. But when that is declared for sabr alone, Hazrat ulama have said that salah has even a higher standard than sabr. So definitely that is true for salah. When we are praying, we are with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is with us. So upon the things brought forth by the kuffar on the changing of the qibla, they constantly taunted the Muslims about it. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu ista'inu bis sabri was salah. Take help that will help you in all situations. Take help from sabr and salah. When you pray, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will take care of all your worries, all your concerns, and definitely Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is with the sabirin. Inshallah, tomorrow we'll start from ayah 154. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. الصلاة والسلام على سيد المرسلين. ربنا ظلمنا أنفسنا وإن لم تغفر لنا وترحمنا لنكونن من الخاسرين. رب اغفر وارحم وأنت خير الراحمين. اللهم افتح قفال قلوبنا بذكرك وافتح مسامع قلوبنا لذكرك. صلى الله تعالى على خير خلقه سيدنا ومولانا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. آمين برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين.